mean, Senator Rubio is right. The Chinese are using their presence in the United States, whether it's at universities, whether it's in corporations, whether it's in their consulates and diplomatic facilities. They use it to spy. They use it to steal our intellectual property rights. They use it in a whole lot of ways that we never use our businesses or our students overseas or our diplomatic installations. Here's the thing, Harris, that I think is worth pointing out, because nobody's paid attention to this. In 2017, the Chinese government passed a law, and it said that from now on, all Chinese individuals, all Chinese companies, all Chinese entities anywhere in the world have to do basically what the Chinese military and intelligence services ask them. So if the Chinese government says to a student who's at the University of Texas in Austin, we want you to spy, he has to spy. If they say the same thing to a company that's working in Silicon Valley, no, they've got to spy too. And that's what the United States and President Trump, I think, are doing. President Trump, when he started running in 2015, he was the first presidential candidate and leader who understood that the Chinese have been in a Cold War with us for decades. And now we're finally taking the steps to fight back.
All right, they're threatening retaliation. First of all, what could that look like? And second of all, is this a Cold War pregame?
Oh, well, their retaliation, they'll do a tit for tat. They'll do something to shut down maybe a consulate that we have somewhere in China. But the bigger point is Cold War. We've been in a Cold War. The Chinese have been in a Cold War with us for decades. They've exploited a lot of our trade agreements with the Chinese. They've exploited our intellectual property rights. They've stolen not hundreds of millions of dollars or billions. They've stolen trillions of dollars in American research and development. They've gone into the South China Sea, which is the world's major maritime trade route, and they've said, this is an internal Chinese lake. They've gone to Hong Kong, where they said, China, we will have one government of China, but two systems. Hong Kong, you can have your own laws. They've withdrawn that. Hong Kong no longer has those rights. And then when the pandemic hit, and the Chinese knew they had a pandemic, and they let it loose on the world very intentionally. To me, those are all signs of a Cold War. Not being fought with military equipment, but cyber attacks, bioweapons attacks, other spy and other intellectual property theft. It's a war. We're just finally waking up to it here.
Wow. KT McFarland, a lot of information from you today. I appreciate it. Thank you.